Hola. Sound check, one. Sit around, everyone. Today we celebrate life, we pay tribute. And before we start, first of all, I would like to thank God for us being here, alive, to be here to witness this moment. For those of you who are here, I thank you very, very much. It shows the concern, the respect you have for Bala and the family. Most of you here are known, and later on I will mention for housekeeping. And those of you who need to, well, the washroom is down to the back, behind the chaplain back the covering. And whatever you're not sure about, you can ask everyone here. We are a large, big family. So we will start in a few moments with an opening prayer. As we are here, we can reflect. You would see the slide running. So in this slide, you would see pictures showing the life of Uncle Bala, his family, many facets of life he was involved in. So during it's going on, you will have this slide showing his different memories, all members of the family. You will have a program. There may be some flexibility to it, but generally we'll start with the opening prayer, and we'll follow the program, and then we'll go to the show of peace. So until that time, until we are ready, you all mingle, relax, and I know it is sad, and when you all see the tears flowing, it's out of love. We are not that sad that he is gone, but it is tears of joy, of the memories and what we have lost. So until that time, we will start again. Actually, only for one time, maybe people speaking on it was here.
Say that again?
You have the mic stand here now. Whatever effect are you taking?
Yeah, don't worry, I go fit in. Okay, well, I would rather if I get like a back song, so the sunlight in the back to that's all. Could maybe stand up somewhere here with this backdrop.
Yeah, I guess the sunrise on something.
Nah.
The sunrise on that side.
Yeah, no, it don't work so. Once the sun in the back, once you have bright light in the back, you go look dark.
What would be a better spot then?
So, anywhere over here.
Yeah, block this side too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Namaste, Sitaram. We will now begin our program this morning. We begin with an opening prayer by Uncle Lloyd, family, friend, neighbor over the years. And I know it is hard for most of us, so I will bring the microphone for you, Uncle Lloyd. I know many of us are not as well as we can. So you can do the opening prayer.
Dear and sisters,
Please stand.
until Baba reach here, we will have our opening prayer, we will have some bhajan. आशक्ति नो दुर्गा देवी नमः श्री चरण कमलभ्यो नमः गोविंदाय नमो नमः वासुदेवासुतं देवं कंसचारूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं शन्नो मित्रा शम्भो वरुणा शन्नो भवत्यायमा शन्नो इन्द्रो बृहस्पति शन्नो विष्णुररुखमा नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मादममतु तनुक्तादममतु अवतु मावतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति.
Please take your seats. Today we celebrate the life of Dr. Bala, Motilal, Ramkissoon, who would have been 87 years in about a week and a half on the 11th. Born in 1937, many of the older heads would know what it means to be born at that time, have a family, and grow up now. Today we celebrate that life, his achievements, his family life, his wonderful children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. I know it will be hard for many as we carry on during the day, but we see it as a labor of love, and like I said, we are here to show that respect, that dignity he always had. This great singing that you would see as we go along, songs that he sang. He would have been in a singing group, a band. And he carried that legacy on with his family, children, son-in-laws, daughter-in-laws, and everybody else. We always know him to be pleasant, forceful. You just have to hear him sing. He wouldn't need this microphone. Loud and powerful. And that lion we celebrate today. And here we respect, we show tribute, that dignity, that honor, and that is what we do as the living who are here today. Sometimes it's a blessing, sadly. We who are living, it is at the time of death, then we appreciate what is important in life. And I know he had a great life. As you can see, his life was great. We will continue. Other members will pay their tributes. And you will see a family working together as we all celebrate, and it may not be his immediate family, but he had friends all over that he considered as family. And I thank you all at the time, like this time, we come together to pay tribute and have that respect and show dignity for his rights today. Not his last rights, it's the beginning of his rights. As we celebrate his passing, and wherever he has to go, we hope it's a better place. I believe it's a better place. I don't know for sure, but sometimes we think where we will be at this time and who will be there for us. So as we continue, now we will have the eulogy by his daughter, Jasmine Ramkissoon Ramocha, as you all know her as Deborah.
Sitaram, everyone. Our dad, as we celebrate his life today, Motilal Bala Ramkissoon, was born on the 11th of March, 1937. And as was said, next week would have been his birthday. He would have been 87 years old on the 11th of March. He was one of the 10 brothers and sisters and was married to Leela Ramkissoon, his soulmate and life companion, until she passed away just over 4 years ago. Together they raised 6 children, a dedication to parenthood that was unquestionable. Our father was the epitome of what a father should be. He dedicated himself to his family's well-being, working hard to provide all of our needs. And now, in our adult life, we are amazed at how both of them did it to raise 6 children and provide everything that we needed to make ourselves better. Dad had a vision of how his family should be, and he was determined to make that vision a reality. He modeled hard work and taught us that it was the only way to achieve anything worthwhile in life. His motto to the girls, and I'll tell you, he said this so many times, books and boys don't mix. And to all of us, he said, your education can never be taken away from you. To this end, he ensured that all of us were given the opportunity to pursue whatever field of study we chose. And throughout our lives, wherever we chose to go, whatever we chose to do, he encouraged us to further our education and to continue to achieve. He passed on this teaching to his grandchildren, all 13 of them, with whom he shared his love equally and encouraged them with his pride in all of their achievements, be it cricket, be it education, any of the achievements, he was always proud to celebrate it with them. Dad loved life, and he lived it to the fullest. Today I can say that he worked hard, but he made time to enjoy time with his loved ones. A trip to the beach, a line with his brothers, singing from the upstairs porch, much to the delight of our mother, and sometimes to the community because his voice was so powerful it could be heard, I'll tell you, from the junction to across by Sharma, by the corner. It was so powerful. And all of us who heard him treasured his voice. This is a childhood memory that would never grow old with any one of us. He loved to sing, and I always felt that as he grew older, his voice only got more powerful. I could never understand how he could sing, even at the age of 85, 86, and his voice sounded like he was so young. I don't have that talent. The Bottle and Spoon Orchestra with the table as a drum was the order of the evening line with his brothers and other family members. The name Bala resonated throughout the village community because of the skilled electrician that he was. Dad worked at Petrotrin as an electrical foreman. At that time it was Trinta, Texaco, all of the names changed, but he was still there. And his skills in this area were formidable. He was able to teach many persons within the community whom he took on as his own apprentices. He served his family and his community anytime they called upon him to fix their electrical issues, and he never hesitated. I know I was talking to Sati, and she said he would come anytime they called, and that was how he helped. That was what he did. Service was what he did, and he taught us that. And when his eyesight was failing and he put on his thick glasses, he was still there, doing whatever he could have done to help. When Mom passed away just over 4 years ago, Dad lost a bit of himself. His zest for life dimmed as he missed his lifelong love and companion dearly. We all saw the sadness. Even though he tried to be happy in our presence, he was never the same. In the last few weeks when Dad got sick, we were fortunate and blessed to have persons, apart from our immediate family, who took great care of him when we could not be there for him. Indrani, one of the girls who took care of him, was a blessing who Dad trusted and knew that she would take good care of him. In fact, he told her she would do anything for him. He also had the help of Devika and Indira, whom we are grateful for that they were there in his time of need. We were also very fortunate to have our niece, Dr. Karishma Ramkissoon, and our cousin Ashley, who is a nurse, to give him home patient care. And for their continued assistance, we will forever be grateful. Today, as we say goodbye to his physical body, I know that Mom and Dad are both looking down upon us, proud of the family that they have created. They have left a legacy with all of us, their morals, their values, their teachings, their attitude, their hard work, their commitment to raising a family that was strong and united together, and that is what they told us. No matter what happens, remain united, remain together. And that Daddy gave us that wish, even in the end. He was our treasure. He was our hero. He was our teacher. He was our strength. And he gave us the best of his life. He was the best dad that we could have ever asked for. And we will treasure his memories for the rest of our lives. For we will miss him dearly. And this home will never be the same without both of our parents, because it will now be empty. And all we have are our memories of him and our mom now. So we will miss both of them dearly. And he left us with everything that he could have given us. The greatest father, I think, that he could have ever been to all of us. And I'm sure he would be pleased to see all of you here today, sharing in his last rites as we say goodbye to him today, that physical body, and we move on to the next phase of his journey in his life. Thank you very much.
As we continue to pay tribute, we will now have tributes being done by his grandchildren. You will have seen them on the first night, where they would have said they are taking over. So all the young children, my little babies who are now little babies, all the cousins seem to have grown very tall. They took over, they shared, they did snacks, they shared all the drinks, everything. And I was so proud to see all his grandchildren doing all of the work that we would have probably done before. So now the grandchildren, we will call them, whoever may wish to come and pay their tribute. And they would have organized, and it is such a blessing to see them as friends and unified and working as one for what they have to do.
Thank you, Dad. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of all the grandchildren, we are here today to say a few words about our beloved grandfather. Our grandpa, a poetic tribute. In childhood days, his gentle hand guided us along the sand. Always patient, never tired, in every moment his love transpired. He walked us each with love and care, our grandpa always there. We played dress-up games in Mama's clothes while he watched us twirl, our faces aglow. With mirthful eyes and amused smiles, he cherished our childhood gals. In the hammock's gentle sway, we'd play and rock the day away. Captain Grandpa at the helm, steering us through life's vast realm.
No raised voices, just love so pure. In his embrace we all felt secure. A legacy of kindness, strong and true, from our grandpa to us passed true and true.
Through now he sails to distant shores, his memory in our hearts it soars. For in our tears, laughter and love, we know Grandpa's spirit is forever above.
Rest in peace, our grandpa, so dear. In our hearts you'll always be near. Among the stars you'll shine so bright, forever guiding us with your loving light. Grandpa, you have and will always be a constant in our life, watching us grow from little babies into the people we are today. You taught us love, laughter, and kindness, and you never let us treat each other with anything but respect. While everyone joked, "Don't misbehave, you know, otherwise Grandpa will pull out his belt," you never raised your voice, no matter how mischievous we were. You taught us the importance of family, and we'll always cherish those lessons. More than anything, we'll miss hearing your melodious voice, because everyone knows you love to sing. We'll miss the times you'd sit and catch up with us, never failing to inspire and motivate. You constantly reminded us that we could accomplish anything we set our minds to, as long as we stayed focused on our studies. That is something we will never forget. As we bid you farewell, our hearts ache with the weight of losing you, but they also swell with the pride for having the privilege of being your grandchildren. Rest in peace, dear Grandpa. Your memory will forever be etched in our hearts, and your love will never fail to inspire us each and every day. Whenever we forget that, we know that all we have to do is look up at the stars, and we'll see you shining brightest of all, right next to Mama. Forever looking down on us. Our Grandpa, our shining star, our guiding light, we love you.
Thank you, the younger generation. So as we celebrate, and you all would notice, the older generation is going. Sometimes we are not sure how many of them, but many of our older heads are going. What is left is the generation to come. And again, I would say, at death, that is maybe the time we begin to value life. So we continue with our tribute, our celebration. Again, members may be sad, but it's a celebration as we honor the life of Uncle Bala. I would now like to call on Mr. Francis Ramnarayan. You may wonder who is that? That is Uncle Tony.
Good morning, everyone. And to my late uncle, your memory is my keepsake, with which I will never part. God has you in his keeping now, but I have you in my heart. Uncle lived well, he laughed much, he enjoyed company, he enjoyed a good time, he loved singing, as you heard. And so far, in all of the speakers, I think that a lot of his life has been covered. There's not a great deal I could add except the things that you don't know about him, maybe. So, my condolences go out to his children and his grandchildren, his friends, his relatives, and all of his well-wishers. Condolences to you all and the loss of Bala. The days that he spent with me as a young fellow, growing up, I recall, and I will try to stick to the things that maybe you weren't aware of. I recall one day I went to him and I said, "Uncle, I think I want to go to England to study." I was probably about 14. He said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, the thought of going to England." You know, we were British as a country, as a colony, back in the 50s, and I was brought up under that, and I thought that I should take a trip to England and do my study. He said, "Well, you know what? Let me ask you a question. How are you doing in school?" I said, "Well, Uncle, you know, I passed your presentation and I'm in Form 3. He said, "What was the result of your last exam?" I said, "Well, Uncle, I came 27. He said, "Out of how many?" I said, "Uncle, 30. He said, "How much?" I said, 27 out of 30. He said, "Are you thinking about going to England?" I said, "Yeah, Uncle, when I get to Form 4, I usually start studying." Okay. And it was the same in primary school when I got to Standard before I started studying. She said, well, okay, Tony, you know what I'll do? If you get through and you want to go to England, you just come and let me know, and I will sponsor your airfare. Right? That's the kind of generosity he was willing to extend to me, although he heard I was doing 27 out of 13 school. I managed to actually improve my grades in standard in form 4 and 5. I did get to London, I did go to study, I did do as well as he expected, even better I think. And I think he was happy that, that he made that offer to me. So I know that as we go forward, I want to tell you that maybe you're not aware that Uncle was like the head of the family, because my dad, who was 10 years older than him, used to consult him. I caught them a few times talking about some of the problems they were having. I think they were talking mostly about me. Yeah. So, and my dad got a lot of good advice and guidance from him. He was a very level-headed and genuine guy, you know, Uncle Bala. He seemed to have been one of the people in his family that everybody looked up to, and who had a level head, and you know, imparted good sense to people as they developed their lives. And my dad needed some help. Sometimes the eldest in the family, we feel that we have all of these responsibilities, and we feel that sometimes it weighs heavily on us. I experienced that too, but I didn't have a younger brother that I thought I could turn to, so I had to turn to friends. It didn't work out as well for me as I think it was for my dad, because he had Uncle Bala to give him advice and guidance, and he quite, they grew close together over the years. One of the things I must say about Uncle is that he was like my second father. And when my dad passed in 2005, he became like my dad. And I was able to come to him, have a chat from time to time quietly, tell him some of the problems. And he'll give me the same quiet advice he gave me when I was attempting to get to London to study. He'd ask me questions that would expose some of my feelings and some of my insecurities, and then he would give me strong advice on how to proceed. And that was the kind of guy that he was. I know that you wouldn't have been aware of some of those things, but I thought I'd share them with you. Well, we all know that he loved cricket and so on, and he loved sports. He loved having a good time. I must share with you something that you probably don't know about him too. This incident that occurred at our home one day. It showed me that, you know, in those days, in the 1950s, while Trinidad was going through change, and in the 60s, we're continuing to go through a lot of changes, and people were going through the fourth generation or thereabouts after the abolition of slavery, and the indentured laborers came to Trinidad. People were trying to find their feet in this country, find their place. And one day on a visit to my dad's house, they had a couple of drinks. Well, they didn't drink a lot, they just had a couple. And some food, and Uncle Bodie and they were there too. And Uncle Chong and Uncle Bob and so on. And when they were leaving, they were accosted by a few men right outside the house. I saw something that I'd never seen in my life before. A fight. I never saw something like that. I saw my uncles defending themselves against these 6 guys and holding their own, and I saw one of my uncles attacked by a guy with a 2x4, and amazingly, just like in what you see in the westerns, you know, he ducked and he let loose one blow to the guy, fell him to the floor, A couple of them were attacked by some of the other guys, and it was a fight. So to the grandchildren here, your uncle wasn't just a quiet, easygoing fella, you know. He could stand on his own and he could deliver a punch. He could handle himself. I'm not saying you guys go and start fighting in school, okay? I tried that. It didn't work. I had a couple fights myself, but I wasn't able to live up to that kind of standards. So, I think I was reaching my limit of 5 minutes. With time running out, I want to quote from a book called The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, when he said, "We should be glad of the experience of coming into this world, even if it seems full of pain. Because after death, we will see that life had a pattern and a purpose, and that what seems to be good to us now or bad to us now will be appreciated without judgment as good for our souls." I suggest we don't wait until death before we recognize that, and don't take the good and the bad and drop the bad out. We have to learn our lessons from them. We have to grow and develop and evolve. In bidding farewell to my dear uncle, I am reminded that you are my second father that I have lost. And I say that I was happy since my dad passed in 2005 that you were with me to share my troubles and to guide me. I needed someone. I'm thankful that you shared your kindness, your time, and your family with me. I was important. I had a family to share with. And I will cherish your memories forever. I wish you bon voyage, uncle. Happy trip. I hope that you will reunite yourself with my auntie, God rest her soul. I thank you for the opportunities. I thank you for the time. I thank you. God rest your soul. Thank you. God bless. And thank you all.
Thank you, Uncle Tony. And like I said, you can see why we looked up to Uncle Bala. One, he seemed serious, wasn't somebody to play around with, and you looked up because he was tall. As you can see, like I said, lion. Some of you saw the soft part, but if he had to talk, and he had to talk sternly, you know his voice was powerful, not just in singing. So, he was not someone that you took lightly. When he spoke, you listened. Again, I will now call, as we pay tribute, by Cheyenne Jingery, his nephew. So I'd like to welcome Cheyenne.
I have been listed to pay tribute to my uncle, and in trying to put my thoughts together and recollection, I realized, that was my best uncle. Anyways, good morning everyone. I am Clint Cheyenne Jingery, and I had to clear that up because most of my family, people who know me in and around, know Cheyenne, and when you ask them what's in, and in both circles and in school as well, nobody knows Cheyenne. They know Clint C. Jingery. They know what the C is for. Anyways, I hope that I could stay within the 5 minutes. So I think the better thing, let me read that right. I will be sharing with you some of my memories and recollected thoughts. You will have a glimpse of Uncle Bala through my eyes. He is my mamu. And in our culture, some people think, that saying mamu is complicated. It's just my uncle. But anyhow, we won't get into that. I have no doubt that some of these thoughts that I have, and I've heard when I heard Tony speaking, I realized, that it will resonate with most of my cousins and perhaps even others who would know Uncle Bala. There's a picture in the kitchen. Some of you might have seen it. Sorry. Yeah. There's a picture in that kitchen that it looks like a blown up picture of a passport size picture. It's in a frame probably about 11 inches by 8 inches. So some of you might have seen it, and those who think they want to see it could ask and go ahead and see it. And I am proud to stand here today and say, I could remember Uncle Bala looking like that. I could remember. He was probably about just under 30 in that picture. And I'm very proud to say that, I knew him. He was tall. Ladies, he wasn't dark, ladies like tall, dark, and handsome. He wasn't dark. I have another uncle who got most of that. So he was tall, he was brown, and he was handsome, and I'm sure around that time, when I was a little guy growing up there, I wasn't thinking about that, but I'm sure a lot of the ladies would have been waiting for him to look their way. But you know what? My auntie, Tanti Lila, she wanted out. And they had a relationship that stayed way beyond, until the end, in a sense. And, sharing with my cousins, and I realized that that relationship continued after she was gone as well. Before Uncle Bala built his house, Uncle Bala lived downstairs by Nana in a nice little apartment with his newlywed. And I think, I stand to be corrected on this, I think it is when Ash came along, when Asha came along, they moved across here. But the specifics I don't think is important, is that he moved on his own, and he was an uncle that I was proud of. My uncle was a musician, and I think somebody would have mentioned that too. And he was part of an orchestra. As I say, I was a little fella then, and I can't even remember. He might have started it, I don't know. But a lot of the time, my uncle's Uncle Chong used to be on the accordion. I think Uncle Harak played harmonica sometimes. I can't remember who was the drummer. I can't remember if there was a guitarist. But I seem to be influenced by all of those too, because I love my music too. Some of you might have seen me play my guitar and stuff. So I have it in my blood, in my genes. And I think I get it from them and the influence of being around them. Uncle Bala, well, he was the voice. And plenty fellas, I'm sure, mostly the men used to sing, envied him. And the last time I hear Uncle Bala sing, and when I say sing, I hear him sing after, there's a video somebody showed me last night. So it's passing around somewhere, those of you interested might see it. But I'm talking about sing officially, and it was from my mom's, and actually I didn't mention that, but Uncle Bala is my mamu because my mom is his sister. So Uncle Bala sang for her 80th birthday. And man, that voice was still there. It was there. I was overwhelmed at his performance. Sometimes he was growing old and you could see it, but that voice didn't grow old. And I realized that, that influence was definitely. I'm told that his first car was a navy blue 1955, maybe 1956 Vauxhall. And like the rest, I know that it was nicely kept. I didn't know that car because it was probably too small, but you know what? I know the second car. But here's the story of the second car. The second car was PF3894. I still remember. I'm kind of good with numbers, I remember. A nice kind of Savannah, green lightish to medium green car. And I always thought that car was Uncle Chong's car. But later down the road when I got older and you're asking and talking and chatting and I realized I don't know Bala. So that's the next sight in him. That was his car, but it was like Uncle Chong car because Uncle Chong have it to use and I guess all the brothers and them probably had a little. So again, when you look at Winnie car and you look at what I drive and with them, that's in my blood, we can't help that. I just catch my drift where I was going there. So in that I have here, I'm thinking and recollecting it and I see, I wish I could see that Vauxhall again. I have a picture somewhere home. I was just over the headlight or the bumper and when I took the picture, maybe about 3-4 years I took a picture. And I say I could wish it because I still love the old cars. I was actually able to own one. I still have a car. It's older than me, but it maybe nearly like that. One of these days I'll bring for you all to see. Yeah, it's a 1955 Dodge Kingsway that I restored. So, getting back to when I was And Tony would have talked about how uncle promised him and uncle delivered. So here what, back in the day, in my time was common entrance, the younger people would only know SEA. For common entrance, uncle always encouraged us and saying, oh, you study, work, do you work, and when he say, if you pass common entrance, I'm buying all the books for you. Well, my father was happy because he get absolved from all the responsibility there. But what Uncle Bala did live up to his promise. And he told Mom, bring the booklets for me. And every single thing was there. And then again, when I finished, that was about what, about 5 years we usually spend. Okay, yeah. So here happening, time kind of running. And I have so much. So those of you who want to hear the story, got always check me out and we will make a little get together, and I'm thinking seriously about putting this thing in a little note as well, because usually when I'm called to say something, I struggle to say, boy, what I should say, and this case was totally the opposite. This is what I have in my hand, I condense it and look at it, I'm running. Yeah. So thank you very much, my uncle. As I said, I realized he was the best uncle. And sometimes it's kind of too late when we... Not that I wasn't in touch with him. I'm glad that, I used to keep in touch with him and I used to have all the fun. So I have a whole lot of memories to live with me. I have no sadness in my heart. I have only joy and happiness to have known him and to be influenced by him. And my belief, I know that he's in a happier place. We are promised better. Unfortunately, nobody can come back and verify that first, but if they did, it would get rid of the mystery of this life and the hereafter. So in closing, I want to wish goodbye to Uncle, and one more reason for me to hope and live this life so that I might be able to reunite with them in the spiritual realm when God desires. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Cheyenne, because I still don't know you as Clint, you would always be Cheyenne. Let's continue. We have one more tribute, Mr. Senator Ramkissoon. And I always think, like I said, it's be so great if people who are living, they hear what people think of them than at a time like this. But as it is, so it is. Let's welcome, sir.
Good morning, all. Sijaram, namaste. As we continue the celebration of Uncle, he was such a remarkable guy. Could you imagine 86 years old, stepping into 87, and still had all that energy and life, and most of you would have mentioned of the different aspects of his lives and so on, of his life, sorry. Some of the fun times I would like to share with you. Of course, Uncle lit up the lives of so many people and families in this area. Of course, he was a certified electrician. He did so much pro bono work. And in many cases, he would do free work for people. Never rush you. Hey, listen, forget that now. When you're ready now, you will come and handle him up, Such was the gentleman. He was a man for all seasons. He enjoyed a good lime. You see, family, he will tell you, family is everything. The Christmas gatherings over here, the entire village was invited. He loved his brothers and sisters. All of the previous speakers spoke about his singing prowess. I always remember as a child, on evenings, every evening, we were serenaded by Uncle Bala. He would sit in the gallery and in this lovely tenor voice, he would sing, and one of the favorite songs, and it's always etched in my memory, Aana se usike aaye bahar, Jaan se usike jaye bahar. I heard it playing a while ago. That man had such a tremendous work. Everything that he did it with passion. He loved people. I described him as a philanthropist. Because he loved sharing, he loved giving, he was always generous at heart. If he playing hard. When he working hard. I remember going out with him to do a PJ, and at 75, Uncle climbing these ladders. I said, Uncle, one boy, you 75, you know? He said, you don't worry, Nasun. You remain on the ground, I will go up, you know. One of the things, you know, like me, Wayne, Roll, and my brother Anil, before the beginning of every school term, we come across here because Uncle was our barber. He saved the family a lot of money. So we line up for haircuts. But he had a style that he would give us. It was a one-cut fit all. Quarter inch from the scalp. He ensured that that haircut lasted till the other term. I think the scissors was calibrated to that quarter inch cut hole, you know. I remember he would tell you, because he giving you the mark with the scissors also. So you say, boy, sit still now. Anyway, well, me being kind of full chill as this day, and one of these haircut exercise, he chip off piece of my hairs. So he console me, he says, so no worry, don't worry, it will grow back, it will grow back. You know, he was such a remarkable man, you know. I forgot something about his singing, right? You know, like his brothers, he loved you all. He loved his sisters, he loved you, everybody. But when they were linemen, in those days, they would sing and fet whole night. I think, you know, when Raymond Ramnarayan sing the song Nakating, I feel he was singing about Uncle and the crew. Yeah. My cousins, or should I say my nieces and nephews, Wayne, Asha, where's Asha? Deborah, Roll, Carol, baby Ryan. You know, we had a little conversation, me and Rai, you know, and I want to tell him, and I want to tell all of you and the grandchildren, you know, Uncle Bala, he held your hands when you made the first steps of your lives. He ensured that even though you would have stumbled a bit, you never fell down. But you all being such blessed children, every one of you held both his hands when he made the final few steps of his life. May God bless you all tremendously. You all had the chance to be blessed. Not only by your father, but by your mother also. God bless you all. Thank you. Yeah, sorry.
Again, no celebration would be complete or any occasion without hearing that voice. So now I would like to have Uncle Bala sing for us. And we will hear from him. Okay, so I now like to welcome our family Pundit, our friend, our confidant we ask advice, and the person we trust to carry on the rights in the best manner that we think and we know that he would do. So I would now like to introduce our Pundit, Pundit Dineshwar, and as we continue from here, after the proceedings, we'll go to the show of peace. So I now hand over to Bala.
Thank you very much, Robin. Boliye Sri Krishna Chan Bhagwan Deki, Chair. Let us all stand, please. Let us all join in prayer as we put our palms together. We put ourselves in a prayerful position. We close our eyes, we bow our head, and concentrate upon Bhagwan Sri Krishna. We chant the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In a funeral, you will hear Ram Nam Satya Hai, Ram Nam Satya Hai, Ram Nam Satya Hai. Why do we chant that? We chant that because we want that Jeev, that Atma, that soul of the departed to leave this world with the name of God and with the blessings of God. It is that name Ram Nam Satya Hai that gives us the strength that is needed in a time such as this. You know, sometimes you go to funerals and when the body is leaving, you hear they playing calypso and chutney song and film song and all different types of song. And you cannot tell people what to do. That is their choice and they want to do it, fine. But you have to understand that when there is a funeral and you chant that name of God, Ram Nam Satya Hai, Ram Nam Satya Hai, this is what should be sung. These are what should be played, bhajans. the chanting of God's name, because this is what will help the soul. We want the soul to attain the best condition. It is only through God that the soul will attain that condition. We do these things to please ourselves, but is it pleasing the soul? And this is what we have to understand, that what we are doing here is not for ourselves, but it is for the Jeev, the Atma, the soul of our uncle. It is to give you, the families, comfort. And the name of God is what gives comfort. So we close our eyes and we pray to whichever form of God that pleases us most. God is known by many names. He assumes many forms. We have people of different faith here this morning. Pray to your God. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanira Bhavati Bharata Abhyutanam Adharmasya Tadatmanam Srijamyaham Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Cha Dushkritam Dharma Sansthapanarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vidhase Raghunarthaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namah. Om Asatoma Sadagamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Everyone, Ram Nam Satya Hai, Ram Nam Satya Hai, Ram Nam Satya Hai. Please be seated. Now this time we will begin with the ritual. Take off your slippers. So the 6 people who are taking part, you will stand. Let's come to the front of me here. Wayne, you will be directly in the front of me. The rest of you will be on his left side. So we can align going down this way. So you purify yourself. Yeah. Face me. Let's make a line. The sons will come first, then the other relatives will come after. So you purify yourself by washing hands, dip in water 3 times. Om Shri Govindaya Namah Hasta Prakshalam Samarpyami. Shri Govindaya Namah Hasta Prakshalam Samarpyami. Shri Govindaya Namah Hasta Prakshalam Samarpyami. Now you sip water. The name of God is what sanctifies the body by sipping the water. Om Shri Achyutaya Namah Swaha. Om Shri Keshava Namah Swaha. Om Shri Madhava Namah Swaha. Shri Achyutaya Namah Swaha. Shri Keshava Namah Swaha. Shri Madhava Namah Swaha. Shri Achyutaya Namah Swaha. Shri Keshava Namah Swaha. Shri Madhava Namah Swaha. Shri Achyutaya Namah Swaha. Shri Keshava Namah Swaha. Shri Madhava Namah Swaha. Om Shri Achyutaya Namah Swaha. Om Shri Keshava Namah Swaha. Om Shri Madhava Namah Swaha. Om Shri Achyutaya Namah Swaha. Om Shri Keshava Namah Swaha. Om Shri Madhava Namah Swaha. Now you wash your hands and pass water by your head. Govindaya Namah Hasta Prakshalam Samarpyami. Shano Devi Ravishtayapo Bhavantu Petaye Shamyor Visravantuna. Mama, let's give them the rings now, please. Let's put on the rings. So you put on the Kavitri, the Kush Kavitri. At the base of this ring is Brahma, in the middle Bhagwan Vishnu, at the top Bhagwan Shankar. Om Kusastito Deva Kushmale Janardana Kushmale Traya Deva Brahma Vishnu Mahadev. Now you put up the car, Chandan. Chandanam tu mahatpunyam pavitram papanashanam apadaharti nityam Lakshmi stishtate sarvana. रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय सीताय पतये नमः नीलं भुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीतसमारोपितवामभागं बाणौ महासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथं मन्त्राचन्दनं मया दीयते चन्दनं तो महापुण्यं पवित्रं पापनाशनम् आपदाहर्ते नित्यं लक्ष्मीस्तिष्ठते सर्वदा. So the Yajman, having prepared themselves for this ceremony, you go around now. You stay by the head, come on this side of the coffin. All of you go around on the left side. Now we sanctify everything. Om apavitra pavitro va sarvava samgato bhava yasmare pundarikaksha savahyam paraha suche. Om Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. Yes, like that. So you take your names in mind as we now take the sankalp for the ritual. For the sankalp, you take your names, you take the name of your father. You take your address. Through the sankalp, you are saying that to Bhagwan Vishnu, in your name, today we are performing this ritual. We do so under all the various planetary conditions at this time, O Lord. Please accept the offerings that we are about to make, and may you bless the Jeev, the Atma, the soul. Hari Om Vishnu 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 Namaha Paramatmane Namaha Adya Shri Brahmano Nidvitiha Paharadhe Shri Shveta Bharha Kalpe Vaivasvatman Vantare Ashtavinshitatme Kali Yoge Kali Pratham Charane Bholoke Jambu Dvipe Siparia Grame Churada Deshe Galfa Parya Sagare Shanti Tiram Ghat Budino Nadi Vikramashe Bauda Avatare Surya Uttarayan Idam Sri Shukravardene Shashti Tithi Phalgun Mase Krishna Pakshe Vishaka Nakshatra Dhruva Yoga Gharkaran Vrishchikrasi Shirishiritu Kashyap Gotraha Utpanuham. Take your names in mind, the 6 of you. Amuk Putra Saparivaram Yajmanasya. Take your father's name in mind. Amuk Pitaji Nama Pratasya Idam Sri Anteshti Sanskar Manokam Hitarte Mahan Karishye Bhori Sri Krishna Bhagwan Ki Jai. Rest up at this side here. Give them the load of water. You can go back on the other side. In the Hindu tradition, when someone dies, in India, water from the Ganges is brought, the body is washed, or the body is taken down to the Ganges. In Trinidad, we have the funeral homes that will do the cleansing of the body. Sometimes the family may choose to do that. It is your choice. As we offer this water is symbolic of cleansing the body with the water from the Ganges. We have infused Mother Ganga, we have recited through mantra and prayer. We have infused and invoked her into this load of water. So this water is now like the Ganga Jal. So you put a few drops of water on his mouth, and then you sprinkle a few drops on the body. All of you got chance together. Keep his name in mind. Adhya Mukasya Gotrasya Amuknam Pratasya Mriti Sane Shiva Nimitam Achmaniyam Maya Diyate Tavo Patishnatam. May this water cleanse the 5 elements. As the body is about to be cremated, may the elements become pure to return to where they have come from. Adhya Mukasya Gotrasya Amuknam Pratasya Mriti Sane Shiva Nimitam Sri Achmaniyam Jalasnan Maya Diyate Tavo Pratishatam. Give them a tulsi leaf. You put the tulsi leaf on the mouth of the corpse. When you have a puja, before you offer your prasad to God, you will put a tulsi leaf on it to purify it. This body is to be offered as a sacrifice here today to the fire on the cremation ground known as Krapyada Devata. So we sanctify the elements, we sanctify the body, just as we sanctify our prasad through the tulsi. Adhya Mukasya Gotrasya Muknam Pratasya Mriti Sthane Shiva Nimitam Tulsi Dalani Maya Diyate Tavo Patishatam. The bhajan also says, Sri Vrindavan Kathalaho Mere Mukmi Tulsi Dalaho. That, O Lord, when my pran, my life is leaving this body, may I leave this world, O Lord, with the sacred tulsi on my tongue. Now you put chandan, tika. This is symbolic of putting the clay of the Ganges on the body. Each of you will put a nice tika. Adhyamukha shabgotrasyamuknaham pratasyam ritistane shiva nimitam chandanam maya diyate tavopatishtatam. Adhyamukha shabgotrasyamuknaham pratasyam ritistane shiva nimitam chandanam maya diyate tavopatishtatam. Everything from the Ganga is sacred. The waters, the clay. Just by looking at the waters, it brings liberation. By doing our rituals here, having our cremation, having the ashes, the bones of the deceased placed into that waters, it brings liberation. Adhyamukha shabgotrasya amuknam pratasya mritisane shiva nimitam chandanam maya diyate tavopatishtatam. So we put this chandan, symbolic of putting the clay of the Ganges on the body. Now we put a mala. As we put the mala, we will break the string that holds it together. And this is symbolic of breaking the bond that we have to the departed. We never forget. But that bond that we share with each other in this lifetime has to be broken one day. Ek din hame bhi jana hai. We all have to leave this world. We all have to be separated from the people and the things that we love. And so by the breaking of the mala, it symbolizes that breaking of the bond. You have two there. Let's take one each. Adhyamukha shabgotrasyamuknaham pratasyam ritistane shiva nimitam Sri pushpamala maya diyate tavopatishtatam. Each of you put a mala. Adhyamukha shabgotrasyamuknaham pratasyam ritistane shiva nimitam Mantra Sri Pushpamala Maya Diyate Tavopatishtatam. Anadhini Bhano Deva Shankachakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundarikaksha Preta Moksha Pradho Bhava. May that jeev, that Atma, that soul, attain moksha, liberation. Adhyamukha Shabgotrasyamuknam Pratasyam Ritisthane Shiva Nimitam Pushpamala Maya Diyate Tavopatishtatam. Perfume. Just as the perfume is sweet, so too our thoughts, our deeds, our actions should be sweet in the same way. Life is how you make it. What you put into life, that is what comes back to you. That is the law of karma. You do good, good comes to you. You do bad, bad returns to you. Karma is like a rubber ball. You pelt the ball to the wall comes back to you with a force. In the same way, whatever actions we perform, good or bad, it comes back to us one day. Therefore, live life like the perfume. Let your thought, your deeds, your actions be sweet in the same way. Adhyamukha shabgotrasyamuknam pratasyam ritisthane shiva nimitam gandhamaya diyate tavopatishtatam. Now we have arti. Now some pundits say you should not do arti. They have their opinion and their reasons. And one of the reasons I have heard is that you don't do arti for the dead. Now remember, this is not your father anymore. This is just a shell. This is just the 5 elements. When you cremate the body, the elements go back. This is what you are doing here. You are worshipping the elements, not your father. So you are doing arti for the 5 elements, not for your father. He is no more. His soul has left his body. Just as you have a vehicle, if you don't have the engine in the vehicle, you can't go anywhere. So too the soul, which is like the engine in this body, has now left. That soul, where is it? It is hovering around here. It will not leave until you perform the Bandhara. So this is just the 5 elements lying here. So this is what you are doing arti too, the 5 elements. Right? So you are going to walk around, and as you walk around, you keep doing the arti around the body. Those of you who can stand, please stand as we pay respects to the arti. Om Adhyamukha Shabgotrasyamuknam Pratasyam Ritisthane Shiva Nimitam Deepaste Maya Diyate Tavopatishtatam. All of you follow him around. Take your time and very slowly you walk. No hustle. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Chant Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Ram Naam Satya Hai Ram Naam Satya Hai Ram Naam Satya Hai. Please be seated. So we offer the first of the 5 pindas. Take up the pinda with the koa leaf and the flower. Give them one. Right, you can put the rest down. Those will be offered at other places. Take your names in mind, touch hands together. Take your father's name. We make this first offering to Dharti Mata, Mother Earth, who is one of the 5 elements. 5 pindas will be offered. Each pinda is offered to a different element. 5 stops will be made to pay our respects to the 5 elements. Om Adhyamukasya Gotrasya Muknam Pratasya Mriti Sthane Shiva Nimitam Ishte Pindo Maya Diyate Tavo Patishatam. Touch it to the ground, the earth. Touch it to your forehead. And you say Krishna Arpan. Press it next to his fingers, under the cloth, next to the right hand. Namo Namaste Govinda Puran Purushottam Idam Shradam Hrishikesham Rakshatum Sarvato Deshaha. The load of water, we offer some tilanjali. Hold your hand like this, over the pinda. One of you move the cloth for him. You allow the water to flow between your thumb and index finger. Adhyamukasya Gotrasya Muknam Pratasya Mriti Sthane Shiva Nimitam Pratham Pindadhanam Tilanjali Dhanam Maya Diyate Tavo Patishatam. We do arti to the pinda. Adhyamukasya Gotrasya Muknam Pratasya Mriti Sthane Shiva Nimitam Iti Sri Mantra Sri Deepaste Pindake Maya Diyate Tavo Patishatam. Jamdware Mahagore Andhena Tamasa Vrite Tatvara Lokartaya Deepo Yamo Patishatam. Arti Vadipinda. Sri Pratham Pindadhanam Sri Mantra Deepaste Maya Diyate Tavo Patishatam. Boliye Sri Krishna Bhagwan Ki Jai. So the 6 of you can have your seats now. So we'll allow other family members in a few minutes time to come and pay their respects. Those who would like to offer flowers and do arati, we have to keep the time for that also. My dear friends, the saints and sages, you can have your seats. The saints and sages have laid down for us as human beings certain moral codes that we must live by. These are the roadmap of life. Just as you have laws in a country, we have laws for driving on the road, so too, there has to be laws how to live our life, how to govern our life. And if we are to follow these laws, these guidelines, then our lives, just as by following the regulations on the road, we are more safer on the road. Of course, you have those who don't follow, and they will break the law. And so they end up in problems. There are penalties that you have to pay if you do that, if you get caught. So in the same way, if we follow the laws of life, then our life is going to be meaningful and purposeful. We are going to serve the purpose of being here upon the earth. But if we don't follow the laws, it is like we are breaking the law on the road. There are penalties that we have to pay. And what are the penalties? The jeev, the atma, the soul, which is supposed to merge and go back with God, if we live the right life and follow these laws and guidelines, if we don't follow, it turns to this world of birth and death and sickness and misery. We never attain oneness with God. So the choice is ours, whether we want to do the right thing in life or we want to do the wrong things in life. Our destiny is in our own two hands. What we choose to do with our lives and the results that come, it is only ourselves that we have to blame. Two little boys were going through a village one day, and they saw a sadhu. One of the boys had a bird in his hand, and he's telling his friend, today we are going to play a trick on the sadhu. So they walked up to the sadhu, and the boy who had the bird in his hand, he clenched his fist so that only the feathers of the bird's tail was showing. And he said to the sadhu, Sadhu, Sitaram, and the sadhu said, Sitaram, son. He said, Sadhu, tell me, what do I have in my hand? And the sadhu looked at the boy's hand and he saw the feathers of the bird's tail. He said, son, you have a bird in your hand. And the boy said, yes, Sadhu, you are correct. But tell me something. Is the bird alive or is it dead? Sadhu did not see if the bird was alive or dead. All he was seeing is the feathers of the bird's tail. And he said, son, come. He says, if I tell you that the bird is alive, you could crush it and kill it in your hand. And if I tell you that the bird is dead, you could open your hands and allow it to fly away. So in any case, you will call me a liar. He said, son, the life of that bird is in your hands. Each and every one of us have to understand our destiny lies in our palms. Jaisa karne, vaisa bharani, what we sow, that is what we reap. And again, if we do the right things in life, then good results will come. And you do the bad things or the negative things in life, and problems come, don't blame anybody, but blame yourself. So these guidelines are to help us to check ourselves, to see if we are living the right life and doing the right things. And the first thing that we must learn is ahimsa, non-violence. We must never cause pain to anyone, to any creature, either through our thoughts, our deeds, or our actions. All of us, we must try to be loving and kind and gentle and helpful like Uncle here. This is what is important for us. This is how we should live. Don't fill your heart and your mind with greed and anger and hate and malice and envy and enmity and jealousy. These things will be reflected through your actions. We want, when we leave this world in peace. And we leave here with a good record, so that when we go before God, we have a clean slate, we have a good record, we have a good report to give. And as we look around in our society today, we are seeing so much of this greed and hate and malice, and so much people are being slaughtered and murdered and robbed and taken advantage of. Our society has become brutal. And people need to change their lives around, and everything starts with you and I. Mahatma Gandhi says, you be the change that you want to see in the world. Everything starts with you and I. The second thing is Satya. Satya means truth. Truth is God. It must not only be spoken. It must not be a word. But as we journey through life, it must be reflected in our everyday living. Be a truthful person. And truthfulness starts with being truthful to ourselves. If we cannot be truthful to ourselves, how can we be truthful to anybody else, and even God? The third thing is asteya, which means non-stealing. It means that we must live an honest life. It also includes not accepting bribes and wanting what other people possess. Don't steal. Don't do wrong things. The fourth thing is brahmacharya. It requires us to live in God consciousness, understand that there is a God who sees everything, who knows everything, who knows what is in the mind with what is in the heart. There is nothing that you and I can conceal from God. God knows us inside out. So sometimes we do wrong things, we hide and we say, nobody is seeing. Think again. If you are God conscious person, you will know that God is seeing everything that you are doing. He's hearing everything. So understand that there is a God and live in God consciousness. Aparigriha means that you must abandon greed. Learn to be satisfied. Learn to be contented as you go through life. Don't want what other people have. Don't allow what other people have to be a problem for you. Learn to be satisfied. Learn to be contented. There was a man every day he will pray to God, as all of us do. But whenever he will pray, he will always complain to God. God, I want a better life. God, I want a better life. God, I want a better life. So one day, God gets fed up with it. And God decided, you know what, I am going to meet this man personally. Let me see what is the problem. Let me hear from him directly what is the problem. So God appeared before him. He was happy. And God said, you know, every day, from morning to evening, you complain all the time about a better life. And you satisfied where you are and what you have in life now? He said, no. He said, God, how could I be satisfied? And he pulled out $20 from his pocket and he showed God. He said, you want to know why I am not satisfied? This is all the money that I have. And I pray to you every day and you owe it to me to give me a better life. So God said, all right, no problem. If you want a better life, the first thing you have to do is to give me that $20 that you have. So he hesitated. He said, oh God, if I give you this $20, I was going to go down by the gas station and buy some gas to put in my car. So God said, hey, you have a car then. I didn't know that. You still want a better life? He says, yes, I want a better life. God said, well, give me the car and give me the $20. I'll give you a better life. He said, but God, if I give you the car, how am I going to go to work now? God said, you have a job? Look at that, you have a job. You still want a better life? He said, yes. God said, well, give me the job. Give me the car. Give me the $20. I'll give you a better life. He said, well, God, if I give him a job, how am I going to take care of my family now? And God looked at him and smiled. Oh, so you have a family now. What God is trying to tell him and to tell all of us, there is so much that we have in life now that we should be grateful for, yet we are not grateful and thankful for what we have. We don't see the blessing. You go and you play the lotto and you win, God bless me. You inherit something, God bless me. Somebody give you something, God bless me. But when you get up in the morning and open your eye, you don't say, God, thank you for that. When you go in the kitchen and you could take what you want to eat because you have choices there, you don't say, God, thank you for that. When you could go to the wardrobe, everybody here, probably last night or when you heard Uncle die, you're probably thinking what to put on today. Because you could go to your wardrobe and pick and choose what you want. Some people don't have that choice. But we don't say, God, thanks for that. We don't thank God for the job and the few dollars that we have in our pocket, or health, or what we have. But we want bigger things. Because that is how we count our blessings. We count our blessings by the quantity of things that we have, and not the quality of things that we have. And always be grateful and always be thankful and thank God for what you have, because you only miss it when it is gone. And the same thing goes for our loved ones, our parents and those around us. Treat them good and love them and take care of them, especially our parents, which you have been doing. And I commend you all for that. Take care of them, because one day Mama and Papa will close their eye and they will leave this world, and they will no longer be here, and there will be a void in our life. And you only miss the water when we were from them. Cherish what you have, and thank God for what you have, and be grateful for what you have. This man, he may not have had the best family, the best job, the best car, the most amount of money, but he still had a little something to hold on to be grateful and to be thankful for. And all of us have to understand that. We could sit down here in peace in our country and do our rituals and do our prayers, and we don't have to worry about anybody running in here with a bomb strapped to their body and killing all of us here. In spite of all that is happening in our country, we're still blessed and fortunate. You could go in the back of the house or go by the neighbor house and get a hand of fig or get a piece of yam or something, go in the bush. When you're living in the concrete jungle, is where you're getting that. There's so much to be grateful and thankful for. But we are not grateful, we're not thankful. We just keep wanting more and more and more. Greed, no. Learn to get rid of that. Learn to be content and learn to be satisfied and say, God, thank you, thank you, thank you for what I have. Thank you for my parents. Thank you for my brother. Thank you for my sister, my friend, my neighbor, whoever it is. Because one day we all have to go our separate ways. As today Uncle is leaving, he's leaving behind everyone, everything, and his journey is continuing. Souch means purity. Practice purity internally as well as externally. Cleanse your heart, cleanse your mind. When you have a prayers to do, you abstain from eating certain things and drinking certain things, it means that you have to abstain and keep away from certain type of thoughts. Clean your heart, clean your mind. Be a pure person externally as well as internally. Get rid of the hatred, the anger, the greed, the jealousy, the lust and pride. Do your prayers, listen to your scriptures, live a good life. Life is too short. Sometimes we feel we have time. We feel we have time, but death comes unexpectedly. Death comes like the serpent. The serpent lies in the grass and he waits for you to pass and he strikes. He's not going to say, hey, prepare yourself, I'm going to bite you. He strikes you without warning. So too, death is ever present, all around, waiting on all of us. And we have to be alert and we have to be prepared. And the only way that we can be prepared is when we follow these guidelines and we do our prayers and we pray to God and we listen to our scriptures and we live a good life. This is what we are going to leave with when we leave this world. I am not going to take my house and go with it. I'm doing this thing over 40 years now. I never see a coffin big enough to put a lot of land inside it, or to put a car inside it, or put a house inside it. What Uncle carrying here today? His karmas, his actions, his deeds. Not the bank account, not the bank book, not the credit card, whatever. Only his karmas, only his action. Because when he stands before his maker, this is what God wants to hear. This is what God wants to see. What did you do with your life? Was your life wasted? Or did you cherish the time that I gave you upon the earth in this human body? And did you do the good things, the right things? This is all that matters. So we need to, as human beings, understand. You see, that is something to be appreciative of. But you cannot be appreciative of death because death opens a new doorway. But we cannot be appreciative of death or understand what is death unless we understand how to live, what is life, what we are supposed to do. So our dear uncle here, he has lived a good life. The time has come. Yes, as children, you will miss him. You will grieve, you will cry. You will feel the pain, you will feel the hurt every time you see his picture, every time those of you who are not living here, every time you pass or you come here and daddy is not here, you will grieve. But knowing that he lived a good life, knowing that he was a good father, and knowing that you did everything for him humanly possible, this should give you some comfort and strength. As we say, we don't know. We say when a person dies, they go to a better place, but as the previous speaker said, nobody will come back from there and tell me for sure. But we pray and ask God to keep his atma, his soul, in his abode. May his soul find shanti, may it find peace. So with these few words, my dear friends, at this time, let me invite the immediate families to come. And you can offer your flowers. If we don't have enough malas, you can just put the rose or the flower, and you can do the arati. So the immediate families will come, and following that, we'll allow extended families and the rest of you to come and pay your respects. Not everybody is obligated to offer flower and arati. We just reserve that for the immediate family. And the rest of you, if you just want to come and just view, you are most welcome to do so. Ram Nam Satya Hai, Ram Nam Satya Hai, Ram Nam Satya Hai. So we'll do that very quietly and very orderly. So you're going to come from one direction, from the head, and you're going to exit around the feet, and you will take your seat. So you can have your seat. When you see the crowd ease up a bit, you can have about 5-6 people at a time. When you see the crowd ease up, then you can come and join and pay your respects. In the meantime, let us glorify Lord Krishna. Jai Krishna Hare, Sri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare, Jai Krishna Hare, Sri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare. जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो। जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो, और कोई न केवल फिर तो ही मेरा पार करो। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा, सबकी आशा। जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, जो भी तेरा Krishna Hare, Sri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyon ko dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare, Jai 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 Krishna Hare. Boliye Sri Krishna Bhagwan ki Jai. So Robin wanted to have an open floor, but I mentioned to him if we had to do that, we wouldn't leave here probably until after 12. So at some point in time, we have to have a cut-off where the talking is being done to do RT, and all this will take up some time. When we leave, we have to make a stop at the entrance. And there are things that we have to do which will take up some more time. But however, in the audience we have Pundit Chandra Sharma with us. And let me invite him to come and say a few words. I know he's very close to this family. And so I will allow him a few minutes to say a few words.
Sit down, everyone. Thank you very much, Pundit. Your message is crystal clear, very meaningful and applicable to all of us. His Worship the Mayor, Siparia Borough Corporation, friends and family. I want you to look at your program that we all talk less. And I want you to look at the number of children Bala has. Notice I'm not saying had. And under the children, you'll see father-in-law of. Got all his children married. And like him, he had 6 children. He made sure all of them make children. So he has 15 grandchildren. But he was always a loving, caring, romantic man. And I'll come back to the romance just now. He has 2 grandchildren. You know, as young boys, when you see a nice girl long time, you used to make a tackle. Deborah, you know your father tackle your mother? Well, if you take a straight line from this house to where Bala used to live, it's about 200 feet. He used to go upstairs and sing. And you asked him, why are you singing so loud for? He didn't tell him initially. It was for Leela. Leela used to live over there. It was the romantic Bala. Of course, she got married. And you know, Sai Bala for that wedding was Michael. Michael is still here. So you see the history. But Bala was always about family. And he would always say, I'll spend the last dollar, if I could borrow a dollar to educate my children. And all the children are very much educated. In fact, the grandson, one of the grandsons, is 64. Recently, in a graduate of Avocat Village School, received the presidential medal for first place in C. And that first place came about because maybe his daughter, Carol, or some family, has Bala fighting spirit. They had to go and ask under the Freedom of Information who got the highest mark in the country. I don't think it was Carol who did it, but somebody did it. That's how Christopher emerged. Bala, of course, was a singer in orchestra. And I remember in the early days, after this house was built, on Friday evening when he take his beverage of choice, he'd sit on that banister and sing the whole village. And we all enjoyed it. Bala also was not an easy man. He when he went to a funeral and somebody was in uproar and a fight break out. Bala used to level that down quickly. So Wayne, I've said this simply for you and your brothers to make sure you continue that good footstep. You have started, you and your wife, your daughter's a doctor, one's a lawyer. And I just wanted to make a remark by the way. When Pundit said some pundits are against RT. Well, I had the privilege of meeting Prime Minister of India, Vajpayee, who was an Orthodox Brahmin. And when he died, his stepdaughter did the funeral. That answers the question. Secondly, when you got married, the father gave your wife his surname, your surname. So she's a member of this family. And the Avocat, when you married, your father-in-law wash your feet. So you're a son in this family. That means all children, Hindu don't discriminate with son-in-law and daughter-in-law and grandchildren. All children must be permitted, allowed, encouraged to participate. If you put chandan, and you put mala, and you put perfume, why fear doing the arati? So if you have time, all of you will do arati. Bala, goodbye. Sitaram.
Thank you very much, Pundit. Chandra Sharma. So let me invite His Worship, the Mayor, Ms. Nehru, to say a few words at this time. Mayor of the Siparia Regional Corporation. Yes, in the meantime, those of you who would like to come and very quietly, as the Mayor His Worship is speaking, very quietly, you can continue offering your flowers and paying your respects.
Thank you very much, Panditji, members of the family, friends all gathered here today. We are here to pay our respect to a hero of this community. There's a gentleman who I fondly refer to as Uncle Bala every time I see him. I recall the days growing up as a child, and everybody talk about his singing. My grandmother lived right obliquely opposite one of the brothers. So when they hear singing over the road, you know his effect. And as far as I know, Uncle Bala was the only singer in this family. But that other part, what is a father? What does a father do? This man lying in this box here today is the perfect example of what a father is and a father should be. He made sure he put a roof over his head to take care of his children. He made sure he educated them, Pundit. He made sure they all followed the right path. A short while ago, Pundit made reference to what is happening in our country today. And part of that problem is a parental problem where fathers are missing in families. And that is the biggest problem our country faces today. The era that Uncle Bala comes from, we are on the verge of losing that entire era of persons. The teachings and what he had given his children was handed down from his children to his grandchildren. And his children would have taught his children the same philosophy that the father would have given to them. And that is where discipline starts. Today there's a total breakdown in discipline in this country. Even among some of us here, our little children, sometimes we cannot even talk to our 5-year-old because they retaliate, because we allow them to. My dad came from the same era that Uncle Bala came from. And I could tell you in those days, there was about 6 leather belts hanging on a wall. So which one you reach first, that is the one you're getting. And they didn't do that because they hated us. Parents didn't do that in those days because they hated us. That was a form of discipline that they instilled in their children. And you know, if you do something wrong, that leather belt is coming into effect. As I said, we are on the verge of losing that generation. Where will we go from there? When his children teaches their children what they learn from their parents, are they going to pass it on to their children? This world will become a real difficult place in the next 20, 30 years. Most of us wouldn't be around then. But the rate we are traveling at, where there's a lack of discipline in society by more so the younger persons in society, I can tell you, I see trouble within the next 20 years where we would be. But nevertheless, Uncle Bala lived up to his responsibility as a husband, as a father, and as a grandfather. And yes, you will miss him. When I looked on the program, I saw it on Facebook last night, then I suddenly realized that he shared the same horoscope with me, so I said, probably that is why me and he had a good hit. His birthday was just 2 days shy of mine. And then I realized that he would have been 87 in a week and a half or so. So what does that tell you? He lived a full life. He lived a happy life. While he lived up to his responsibilities, he didn't sit down and not allow himself to have a good time. And I can tell you, as Chan mentioned, the beverage of his choice, and I could recall growing up as a child, those days the pipe stand on the junction here, no pipe in the village, so you come into full water by the junction here with the box cart. From the time you hear Uncle Bala voice in Big Shop, Uncle Big Shop, you know well the fete is ripe in that vicinity. And we enjoyed those days. We enjoyed listening to him. We used to leave the box cart there and go over the road by Collie Fence and stand up and watch the singing and listen to them in that shop because we wasn't of age to go in there then. So we would have learned a lot from Uncle Bala. Very respectful, very humble man, came from very humble beginnings, but he made sure what he did succeed in what he was placed on this earth to do. We say goodbye to him today, and may his soul find a resting place. Thank you very much, Pandit.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. At this time, we continue with our viewing. So again, let me invite, we'll be within the next 10 minutes or so preparing to depart. So we have 10 minutes or so for those of you who came in a bit late. And those of you who were earlier on, if you want to come and still pay your respects, please do so. So we join in Abhajan again as we continue to pay our respects to our dear uncle. So please, within the next 10 minutes, please make yourself available to pay your respects. Once we decide to leave, then the ritual aspect here at the home will conclude. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sitaram Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sitaram Sitaram Jai Sitaram Bhajo Man Pyare Sitaram Sitaram Jai Sitaram Bhajo Man Pyare Sitaram Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sitaram. The bhajan is saying, glory to the Lord of the rebels, through whose grace even the most wicked is purified. O mind, chant the lovely enchanting name of Prabhu Sri Ram and his divine consort, Mother Sita. Unjani cha ek saman, sabko sammati de Bhagavan. Unjani cha ek saman, sabko sammati de Bhagavan. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sitaram. Jai Raghunandan Jai Ghanasham Avadha Vihari Sitaram. Jai Raghunandan Jai Ghanasham Avadha Vihari Sitaram. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sitaram. In the eyes of God, none is high, none is low. We are all equal in His eyes. O Lord, we humbly request that you grant to all equal understanding. Glory to Prabhu Sri Ram, the giver of bliss, Lord of the Raghus, who is dark in complexion and who forever dwells in the city of Ayodhya. Ram, Ram, Raja Ram, Patita Pavan Sita Ram, 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 Raja Ram, Patita Pavan Sita Ram, Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram, Patita Pavan Sita Ram, Patita Pavan Sita Ram. Boli Sri Krishna Bhagwan ki Jai. So this time I will ask Robin to make his final closing remarks as we prepare to depart for the show of peace, where the body of our late uncle is going to be cremated. So, Robin? Okay, so Robin is somewhere, so we'll ask Deborah to say a few closing words.
Sitaram again, everyone. On behalf of our family and our extended family, I want to say thank you to all of you for coming out today and sharing with us in the celebration of the life of our father, our grandfather, great-grandfather. Certainly your presence here speaks a lot about the relationship that we would have had with the community, with our family, and I know that Dad would be very pleased that the support that you all have shown us over the past few days following his passing would have been something that we would have been able to hold on to and get strength from. And we thank you for that. We thank you for being here and for sharing with us as we say goodbye to the body, the physical body of our father. And to us, the legacy that he has left behind, the memories that he has left behind, we have left behind for all of us to treasure and to remember him by. These are things that we will always, always hold on to, and that is our strength. So I want to again say thank you to all of you for coming out today and for being with us and giving us the strength to say goodbye to a man who was our teacher, our mentor, our strength, our provider, and the father that we could never thank enough for showing us the way that fathers are supposed to treat their children, their daughters and their sons, and their grandchildren as well. This was a man who we knew to be the best dad that we could ever have. And for that we are eternally grateful to God and to him for being there for us throughout our lives. So thank you again for being with us, and I hand over back to Robin, to close, for Baba to close. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deborah. So we still have a few minutes, so those of you who would still like to come and view, we still have a few flowers here, you can come and offer your flowers. peace will cover the two nostrils. Prem se bolo se Krishna Chan Bhagwan ki jai. Let us all stand please as we prepare for our departure to the shore please. Shanti Tira, where the remains of Uncle will be placed into the sacred fire. This body is to be offered as a sacrifice to the fire god on the cremation site. When you have a puja and you're doing your havan, in your thali, you will have sugar and rice, you will have black tail, bubul, ghee, and you offer that in the fire. You will notice before the body is put in the fire, you put sugar, you put rice, you put black tail, you put bubul, you put ghee. This is to be offered to the god of the cremation ground, the fire god, Kravyadidita. Just as you make an offering into the fire, so to this body will be offered as an offering into the fire, thereby releasing the elements, sending them back to where they have come from. So we join in prayer. May God bless you all. Thank you all so much for your support and being here this morning. And we pray that may the Jeev, the Atma, the soul of our dear uncle. You know he's probably smiling, and Auntie, our late Auntie Dina is probably smiling, that they will be reunited again. And so we pray that may his Jeev, his Atma, his soul find eternal peace. Om Papoham Papa Karma Hum Papatma Papa Sambhava Trahimam Pundarikaksha Sarva Papa Haro Hari Om Anadhini Dhano Deva Shank Chakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundarikaksha Preta Moksha Pradho Bhava Om Atasi Pushpa Sanskasham Pitavasa Samchachutam Yedasyanti Govindam Natesham Virate Bhayam Krishna Krishna Kripalo Tvam Gatinam Gatir Bhava Samsaranava Magannam Prasiddha Purushottam Hiranya Garbha Purusha Vyakta Vyakta Swarupane Asya Pretasya Moksharta Suprita Bhava Sarvada. Everyone. Tvameva Mata Japita Tvameva Tvameva Bandho Chasaka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Sabko Gati Hai. Boliye Sri Krishna Chan Bhagwan ki jai. So we'll make the first stop just at the entrance. We'll offer a pinda, perform arati, and then we will proceed to put the coffin into the hearse, and we'll make our stops when we reach to the cremation site, the other 3 stops. So thank you all so much. Please remain standing as we prepare to depart. Make up on any steppers now. Thank you all so much.
Fortune development. Fortune development. Fortune development.
No, this is the one for the sorry. Yeah, I guess I can.
Happy day.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's
You all remain
right.
can up there. At the foot.
Come on this side, come on this side.
Cross it. Everybody come on this side, you'll be safer. Wait, you go by the head. Pass over, make it safer. Bring it out that water. Rub. All of you touch hands together.
मनवा दुख की चिंता क्यों सताती है, दुख तो अपना साथी है। ताई मनवा दुख की चिंता क्यों सताती है, दुख तो अपना साथी है। सुख है एक छाँव ढलती आती है जाती है, दुख तो अपना साथी है। राही मनवा दुख की चिंता क्यों सताती है, दुख तो अपना साथी है।